Hello and welcome back. Today I am going to be filming for you the makeup that I have been wearing pretty much every time I do my makeup. I am probably going to title this video my current everyday makeup routine, but just to let you know, I am not wearing makeup every day at the moment, but you know, whenever I do reach for makeup and do like more of a full makeup look, which is mainly at the weekends, which is what it is today. It's Saturday today. This is the makeup I've been reaching for those times. So during the week I wear very, very light to no makeup, and then at the weekends I do like to, if we're doing something, I like to put on a little bit more makeup, but still keep it very everyday and wearable. That's what we're doing today. I also thought I would just chat whilst I'm doing it. I have a few new products. Well, they're not really new to me anymore, but I've not used them on camera before, so I thought I would kind of explain those and tell you my thoughts on those as I use them. And then also like chat about my goals for 2022. The past few years I have always tried to like write down what I want to achieve in that year and try to kind of really like know where my focus is going to be for this year. So I have done that for this year, and I thought it would be nice just to kind of chat and I can talk you through a few. Are you setting goals for 2022? Let me know. Do you think it's kind of a redundant process? I would love to know your thoughts on it. For me personally, as I say, it does just help me kind of figure out what I should prioritize and really focus on doing for this year, so that I can kind of try and achieve as many of those goals as I can. But I do try to keep my goals realistic and things that I know I can achieve as well, because I think it's very easy to like write 50 goals of like pipe dreams down and never actually do them. So I try to make them very attainable, very easy to grasp. But yeah, let's just get into the look. I hope the lighting is okay in this video. I know in my last video it kept going very like yellow to bluey to grey, so I think that's probably going to happen in this video as well. The light in this room, to be honest, the light in our house during winter is just not good. So I am sitting in front of a window, but I do also have like a little tiny ring light like right here, pointing at me, and then I also have a light lighting up the background. So let me know what you think, if I should try and make some adjustments. I'm just not very technical with these like camera things, guys, so I don't really know what I'm doing, and I just try and make the video as clear as I can and as accurate to the real color as I can. But sometimes I am using natural light, so if the sun goes in and out, it is going to change the tone of the video. That's just how it is. Okay, so I have had a few breakouts over the kind of Christmas, start of January period. So my skin has not been the best over the last few weeks. I actually think I think I mentioned this as an honorable mention in my 2021 favorites, but I mentioned the Glossier Stretch Concealer, and I was really, really enjoying it. I picked it up in the Black Friday sale, like a couple of products I'm going to use today actually. I picked the Glossier Stretch Concealer up as well, and I was loving it, but I'm pretty sure it broke me out. And I did say in another video that I'm pretty sure the Super Dew from Glossier broke me out also, and I have exactly the same kind of spots in the same place that I had when I was using the Super Dew, when I was using the Stretch Concealer. And so I stopped using the Stretch Concealer, and the spots I've still got scarring there, but they're not angry and red like they were before. So I think Glossier, I'm sensitive to some ingredient in their face products. I do have another spot here, and I'm not sure where that one's come from. It could be the moisturizer I'm using, or it could be the fact that I haven't washed my brushes in about 2 months, or it could be stress, who knows. I've kind of been switching between foundations, but today I'm gonna use, I'm sorry, I know I've used this so much on camera, but it is just like one of my most used foundations, the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac. I'm actually going to use the shade 20 this time. I often use shade 30, but that's a bit more of my summer shade. So 20 is good for me when I'm, very pale. I have also been using the Milani Screen Queen foundation, but because my skin has been a little bit dry, extra dry this week, I've noticed that this is just a little bit more hydrating than the Screen Queen one, so I want to use this one today. But yeah, I'm putting it on pretty generously because, as I say, my skin hasn't been great. And also this brush, which is a Luxie 504 brush, does sheer out the foundation quite a bit, so kind of soaks up a lot of the foundation in the brush. So yes, how is everyone doing? How have the start to your years been going? I find January a pretty hard month, if I'm honest. I mean, I think everyone probably does to some degree because, you know, there's such a hype over Christmas, and I do really enjoy Christmas and I get really excited for Christmas, and then you kind of like are on a come down for the whole of January because winter. And I'm a summer baby and I hate winter. Like, I just do not enjoy the winter season. When spring and summer rolls around, I feel so much more myself. I just don't enjoy cold, rainy weather. Not really enjoying January so far, not gonna lie, but I'm trying to stay positive, as they say, and we actually do have quite a lot planned this month, so that'll be good, because last January we were in like full-on lockdown in the UK, and I really struggled mentally in January and February last year. I felt like I was losing myself a little bit because we were just literally shut in. The pandemic felt very, it kind of felt like the world was falling apart a little bit, and you didn't really know when the end date was going to be. You didn't know if you were going to be able to do anything this year. You didn't know if it was ever going to be the same again, and it felt very like cataclysmic, if that's the right word to describe it. I felt really trapped in January and February this year, so I'm really happy that the UK has managed to stay out of lockdown over winter. Very grateful for that, because that has really helped my mental health, because at least, you know, we can still make plans, and as I said, we do have a few things planned. So we're seeing some friends, and we are actually going on a little weekend away for Adam's birthday at the end of the month as well. So yeah, it should be like, really shouldn't complain, because I am very privileged to be in the situation that I'm in and be able to do the things that I can do. And I know a lot of countries don't have that right now, and it's not as free to do things. And also some people just don't have the access, you know, they're not in the situation where they can go out, because COVID is still very rife. It seems to be very contagious at the moment, but we all do struggle, you know, no matter how perfect our lives should seem on paper. Everyone has things that they struggle with. So anyway, on that note, on that very happy note, I'm going to talk you through my 2022 goals. I have 11 goals. I always write them. I actually got this years ago. It's the Passion Planner. You can get it on Amazon. I think that's where I got mine. But it has like a bullet journal section at the back where you can write notes and stuff, and then it's got like other note pages at the back. But then it's got like a weekly plan as well, where you can like plan that out. To be honest, I don't use that anymore because I have all my like work diary and all of that. I do it on my phone, or I do it on Outlook, like we use Outlook at work. So I do like to write my goals down here at the start of every year, as I said. So let's put some concealer on and talk you through a few of them. So I'm going to use the XX Revolution what is this concealer called? I don't even know what this concealer is called, but this is their concealer. It's in the shade CX1, and I've been really enjoying this recently. I kind of dip between this and the Oma Beauty concealer, but I wanted to get more use out of this because I'm almost out of my Oma, and I do have another one on backup, but I don't want to open it just yet. I'm trying to save it and use up some of the stuff I have open. The first goal on here, so I kind of mix it up. I do like personal, career. So I do work in social media outside of YouTube. I work for, I don't know if I've actually said this, but it's on my Instagram and stuff. So I work for an international development organization called Saie, and I work in their social media team. That's my like 9 to 5 job that I do. And then YouTube is very much just kind of something I do for fun on the side. I really don't make very much money out of it, so it's not like a revenue stream for me or anything. I just enjoy doing it, and I feel like I've built up a decent sized community here over the years, and I just really like connecting with you guys. All that to say, my first few goals on here are to do with like work. So I really want to do a Photoshop course. So I do use Photoshop for work, but I am kind of self-taught, and I've been saying for a couple of years that I'm going to do a Photoshop course, and I just haven't done one. So we have a LinkedIn learning subscription at work, so I'm going to try and do one through there, and I've actually like booked in time to do it in my diary, so I'm pretty sure that that is going to happen this year already. And then I also want to get better at LinkedIn, because that is one of the social media platforms. I mean, let's be real, I'm really not active on my personal socials anyway, but I would like to be better on LinkedIn, because I think it kind of is just a good kind of career. It's good for your like self-development, if that makes sense. I really love my job and I love where I work, but I just want to kind of showcase it a little bit more publicly. So yeah, work on my LinkedIn and be a bit more consistent. Well, start being consistent, because I've never been consistent there. And another goal for YouTube is to post consistently here. So I'm not a very consistent YouTuber, and that is mainly because I obviously do have a 9 to 5 job, and it is something that I try to fit in around that and do for fun, as I said. Last year I had like one break in the middle of the year over the summer, and that tends to be where I do fall off with YouTube, because I have my birthday, and then, you know, just there seems to be like a lot going on in the summer. I'm not gonna put the pressure on myself to post every single week, because I know that that's not a realistic goal for me, but I do at least want to just say that I have posted consistently for the full year. You know, I've never taken a whole month off YouTube, or a whole 3 months off YouTube like I did last year. The difficulty for me is like, if I have 3 or 4 weekends where I'm busy and I'm doing stuff in a row, that makes it very hard for me to be on YouTube and film and edit a YouTube video, because it's time consuming. It's very time consuming, and I love doing it. But sometimes if I have like, say I have 2 weekends where I have plans for like the full weekend pretty much, and I know that I'm not going to be able to film a video unless I like shoehorn it in at like 10 p.m. at night somewhere, which is just not enjoyable for me. Then the next weekend I'm often like catching up with house stuff and catching up with like, you know, chores and washing and things like that. So I do find that balance really difficult. So my goal is just simply to try and post consistently. That's all I want. I want to be able to say that, you know what, I'm not someone who is posting every single week, but I am at least keeping my channel going and putting out interesting, relatable content for you guys. Yeah, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And that is so true for YouTube. If I stop filming, I get so rusty and I just feel very like I can't get my words out properly. So you have to keep filming, or you just like almost, it becomes like this really daunting task you just don't want to do. So yeah, those are my first 3 goals. Now I just want to talk you through this bronzer, because this was, as I say, one of my Black Friday purchases, and I have been loving this bronzer. This is a cream bronzer, and it's the one from Saie. You know, it has been getting quite a bit of hype this past few months, and for good reason. So I have the shade Light Bronze, and this is like a great shade for me. It's very natural. It's way more natural than other cream bronzers that I've used, but I really like that because it means it's hard to get wrong, and hard to like go too overboard on it, and it blends out like a dream, and it's like nice and slippy, and yeah, it just looks really natural, and like almost like you're not wearing makeup. And also like, oh, I love the way that cream bronzers look in like these pots. It's very like, you know, Chanel what is it? The Chanel Tan de Soleil or something that everyone goes on about, and obviously is not cruelty free. So I have never tried that one, but I've always wanted to, and I'm so glad that this is a cruelty free kind of option in that same sort of format. I said this in my 2021 favorites, but I think this is gonna be the way that bronzers go. Like for ages we had the stick bronzers, but I do think that I prefer this kind of bronzer to sticks right now. I just find it easier. I'm using it with a Morphe E59 bronzer brush, and I just really, really like how it applies. It just gives me that nice kind of subtle sun-kissed look. So the next 3 goals that I've got on here are ones that I know I'm going to achieve, and I do have to put effort into them, but they're like ones that I know by the end of this year, unless something goes really, really wrong or like COVID hits us really badly again, I'm definitely going to achieve these. So one is get married. So our wedding is going to be this summer. I am so excited to finally get married. We've been engaged for almost 2 years. It will have been by the time we get married. So about 18 months now, and we've been planning our wedding for the last year, and I'm just really, really excited. I think it's going to be such a magical day, and I'm super excited for that. So that is going to be a big life goal ticked off in 2022. I'm also going to be traveling in 2022, so we are going on our honeymoon. Hopefully we will be going to Mauritius. We have it booked and everything, but you know, you just never know with COVID traveling restrictions at the moment. So fingers crossed we get to go to Mauritius. So that will be more in the autumn time. And then we also want to start the process of buying a house this year. So we are in a very, very fortunate position that we can now start looking. We've been renting in the house that we're in Manchester for just over a year. We've been living here, and we really love it here. We really love the little area of Manchester that we live in. So we live kind of out of the city centre, but we absolutely love it here, and we would like to buy a house here, like really close to where we live now. So fingers crossed that happens in 2022. That's why I've put start the process of buying a house, because I'm not 100% sure if we will actually complete, you know, everything this year, but at least if we start the process, then hopefully we can set ourselves up for definitely moving in 2023. But yeah, 2022 to move into a house that we actually own would be an amazing tick, but we do have quite a lot of other stuff that we're obviously doing with the wedding and planning and all of that. So I'm gonna use a blush, and I've kind of been just picking whichever cream blush I'm in the mood for, to be honest, but I've mainly been going between my 2 Melt cream blushes. So I don't know whether to go for Sandy Cheeks or Polished. Sandy Cheeks is more kind of peachy, and Polished is more kind of grapefruit. I think I'm gonna go for this one. Again, I can't remember if I've used this on camera, but I love this, and it has a tiny gold reflect, but it doesn't really show when you have it on your face, but in the pan you can see it's almost like iridescent. It has a very, very slight sheen. I think this is gonna be so nice to wear in the summer, but it does perfectly well in like autumn, winter too. It's a good all-rounder, all seasons blush. So yeah, and then the next goal on here is to try spin classes and try them consistently, because I know that if I like tried a class and I did like it once or twice and then I was like, oh, it's okay, like you don't actually see results unless you go and do something at the gym consistently for like a month. So yeah, I've done, it's currently the Saturday the 15th of January, and I am 2 weeks down on my like gym routine this month so far, and I've done 4 spin classes. So I'm actually really, really enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. I thought I was going to really struggle, because I tend to do like HIIT workout classes and stuff like that, but I don't really do a ton of cardio. So I thought I was going to find it really hard and like a real new technique to master, doing that much cycling in 1 hour. But actually, if you are debating over going to a spin class and wondering if it would be for you or not, I really encourage you to try it, because I was so surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And I feel like I've had such a good workout. Like, you get so sweaty and you just feel like you've really burnt some calories, even though when I checked how many calories I'd burnt, it was only like 300, and I was like, oh, I thought I'd burnt like 1,000 by how tired I was. But no, it was only about 300, which is what, about like 2 packets of crisps. I just really have been like enjoying it, and I feel like it's doing my body good, getting that kind of heart rate up and sweating it out a little bit. So yeah, been trying that and been enjoying it so far. So for eyeshadow, I wanted to talk about this because I mentioned it, I think, in one of my last videos. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. Now, I have spoken about these cream eyeshadows for a long time, but I only ever had one shade, which was the rose gold shade, which is one of my most used eyeshadows. You know, I really, really love it. I didn't use it so much in 2021, but in 2020, whoo, I use that eyeshadow like nobody's business. I've been eyeing this particular one up. This is in the shade Amber Gold. I've been eyeing this one up for months, literally months. And when it hit Black Friday, I was like, right, I'm gonna do it, because I did make a little bit of a beauty purchase for stuff that I could try and test out for my channel that I've been wanting for a while. I have not regretted it. So I'm going towards more of that bronze. You guys know I love, sorry, I feel like I'm just flip-flopping all over the place and talking really fast. What I was gonna say is, you guys know that I loved and I still do love, the Kosas 10-second eyeshadow in Globe, which they have just reformulated. And I kind of want all the shades, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I have the old version and I love that particular shade. And because of that, I've just been wearing a lot more bronzy tones, because I tend to like always want to wear that eyeshadow when I put eyeshadow on. And I'm not super into powder eyeshadow anymore, but I do love a cream eyeshadow because I just find them so easy, swipe on, one and done kind of thing. So I really wanted to try this one from Charlotte Tilbury, because as I said, I love the rose gold shade, and I really do like this formula because I think it's very like wet looking and very natural looking, but you can really like work it into the skin, and it's a bit more, I would say, kind of everyday appropriate than the Kosas one, which is quite like in your face, kind of va-va-voom, very like sparkly. So this one is a little bit more just everyday wearable, but it's got that really beautiful kind of bronze undertone like the Kosas one has, but it's just not quite as shimmery as that one. So yeah, really been loving it so far. The formula is very much the same as the rose gold one, so you know what you're getting if you like that one as well. But yes, I am really enjoying it. Now, these ones don't set down as much as some other cream eyeshadows do, so just bear that in mind. I personally find I do have to work it into the skin quite a bit for it to not crease too much. If you don't blend it enough, it can be a bit creasy. So yeah, just bear that in mind if you have particularly like oily eyelids or anything like that. And this one is also a little bit more easy to get messy, I would say, than the rose gold one, because the rose gold is obviously a lot closer to my kind of skin color. So this one's just a little bit darker, and because of that, it can just look a little bit messy. So I do like to, rather than just use my fingers, I like to also go over it with a fluffy brush and just kind of blend out the edges. But yeah, I've been reaching for this a lot over the last month or two. So that is how it looks. It's kind of just a very sort of natural, almost like you've used your bronzer on your eyeshadows, and I love that kind of look. I'm just going to set my under eyes a little bit with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Powder. To be honest, on an everyday basis, I actually would skip this step, but I find when I'm filming, it looks better under my eyes if I do put a little bit of powder on. So yeah, just decide for your skin type whether you wanna go ahead with this step or not. So I'm just gonna read a few more goals out that I have on here. So I do want to continue tracking my spending. This is something that I started doing, I think 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, where I actually set up a spreadsheet and I said, right, every month I have this much coming into my bank account, I wanna put this much in savings, and I can categorize what I want to spend the rest on. So obviously I also put a certain amount towards bills and stuff, but that all comes out of mine and Adam's joint account, and then anything that's left I can spend on basically whatever I want. So for example, if I get I've stopped getting my nails done for a little bit, but if I was getting my nails done once every 2 or 3 weeks, I would categorize that and I'd say, right, I'm getting my nails done twice in the month of February, so I therefore need to like account for that before, and I need to put money aside for that so that I know that I have that money there and it's ready to spend on that thing that I want to get done. Because I personally am very bad in falling into the habit of like, if there's money in my bank account and I see something on an Instagram ad that I want to buy, I'm just going to buy it. I'm just not a saver. I never have been a saver. I've always been a spender. So I've been trying to like control what I spend my money on, and I feel like I'm getting better, but I'm still not where I need to be. So I have had a Monzo account for a while, but in Monzo you can have different pots, and I've actually set up a different pot for each thing every month. So I know exactly if I want to spend money on eating out, I know how much I have for the month to do that. And it should be, you know, I've been pretty realistic with the amounts that I might spend on that. I'm not good at thinking like, oh, I can't afford that, therefore I'm not gonna buy it. I'm like, well, I probably shouldn't, but I know I have this much in my bank account, so therefore I could probably just buy it. Let's buy it. Like, I am my own worst enemy at talking myself into buying stuff. So yeah, all that to say, I just want to continue. My goal is to continue tracking my spending in this specific way with like Monzo pots and stuff, and to see where we get with it. And again, I know I'm very privileged to even be able to say that. I do have disposable income I can spend on things that I enjoy doing. I'm very, very lucky to be in that position. Okay, I'm sorry, my battery died and I tried putting my other batteries in and they were both dead. So it's a little bit later now, but I'm gonna try and remember what I was saying. I have just put some mascara on. I've been using my e.l.f. Keep Your Curl mascara still. Yeah, I also applied my Glossier brow, what is this? Boy brow in blonde. But yeah, I think what I was saying was I completely appreciate that I am very lucky to be able to say that I struggle with spending money on things like eating out, buying clothes, you know, beauty products, beauty treatments. I know that that is not an option for a lot of people, but it is just something that I do want to get a handle on. So that is one of my goals for 2022 as well. My last goal that I wanted to mention was, maybe I'll tell you this after I put my lipstick on actually, but I'm going to apply the Glossier Ultra Lip. Yeah, the Glossier Ultra Lip. Sorry, I couldn't remember the name of this. It's the Glossier Ultra Lip in the shade Trench. I just love this. It's like a very kind of warm, cinnamony, nude brown. It's gorgeous. I've been wearing, this is basically the only lip product I've been wearing. Okay, my camera started flashing again, so let's do this quick. So the final goal that I wanted to mention was to read 5 books this year. So I've been really bad with reading the past couple of years. You know, I did an English degree, but do I read any books now? No. That's something that I really want to get better at and really want to focus on, and just taking my mind off my phone and not getting distracted by my phone as much. So I did buy a Kindle. I just got the basic one, the regular normal Kindle, not the Paperwhite, nothing like fancy. I've already read, I think like 2/3 of a book on it in the first 2 weeks of January, and I'm really enjoying the change in format, I guess. Yeah, I just find it a lot easier to read, and I like that you can see how much percentage you are the way through it. So I know like, okay, I can just read, it tells you like how many more minutes are left to read in a chapter. So I find it a lot more attainable, and I think, okay, if I just read for 20 more minutes tonight, I can finish this whole chapter. I'm really enjoying it so far. So I've set my goal low at 5 books for the whole year. Fingers crossed I can achieve that. Those are all my goals for 2022. Let me know what your goals are. I would love to hear what you're aiming to achieve this year. Just thank you so much again for hanging around and watching my videos and doing our makeup together. I have really enjoyed filming this actually. It's been a nice kind of ease into filming again after the Christmas break. So I hope that your January is going well so far. I hope that you are keeping well and taking care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.